Welcome to Long Island, a region of inspirational natural assets such as world-class beaches, historical landmarks, award-winning wineries, an agricultural region that ranks first in the state in the value of crops sold, home to innovation, a highly skilled workforce, world-renowned research and educational institutions, a diverse population, and industry clusters ranging from high-tech manufacturing to commercial fisheries, and an infrastructure network challenged with supporting this fast-paced and ever-changing economy. It has been a year since the visionary approach by Governor Cuomo to regionalize economic development by establishing regional councils. This diverse group, under the leadership of Kevin Law of the Long Island Association and Stuart Rabinowitz of Hofstra University, collaborated and deliberated, setting differences aside to create a strategic plan that was recognized as one of the 4 winning plans in the whole state.
The Long Island Regional Council is about working together, in collaboration to make progress. We're talking about our educational communities, our business communities, our not-for-profits, and getting community involvement all together so that we can make sure that we are here on Long Island. We are focused on trying to grow our economy. We're focused on the future and what we have to offer to Long Island. It's a great place. We have wonderful assets here in terms of environmental assets, business assets. We want to prove to everyone in the world that Long Island is the place to be now and in the future.
During this first round, the Council accepted applications for funding for projects that showcased collaboration amongst research and educational institutions, fostered workforce development, supported infrastructure investments, and spurred innovation, hastened the commercialization of new technologies, strengthened our manufacturing sector, capitalized on our natural assets, and supported investments in neglected, distressed areas that have been historically underserved. We are thrilled to showcase the progress that was made in so little time.
Well, of course, the Smart Grid is a strategic initiative by Stony Brook and Brookhaven National Labs focused on developing new technologies for the next generation of grids, electric grids in this country.
S-Grid 3 is really designed to focus on the grid, on this transmission domain. And through it, we're hoping that we'll in fact be able to support utilities and reduce the cost of electricity because we've reduced the waste. We can increase the effectiveness with which electricity is dispatched to your home. We also hope to be able to look at where are we actually getting the losses in the grid system. There's some places the typical average loss in transmission and distribution is about 10%. And what this will allow us to do is to drive that down.
We were the beneficiary of a $500,000 grant for our new seed fund, our Accelerate Long Island Seed Fund. This is exactly what's needed on Long Island and throughout the state of New York when it comes to economic development. The future of our economy depends on being able to start up companies and create an entrepreneurial ecosystem so that we can grow the next new generation of companies for Long Island and keep our next generation of workers on Long Island.
What we're here looking at today is our brand new offices. We're going to be moving in next week, hopefully, and the point that we're of moving here is twofold. One is to be close to the train station so people have an easy way to get to work, and 2, to have one location where all of our companies can be together and cross and collaborate. So this project here is the very start of something called ThoughtBox, which was a project that was recognized as a transformational project in last year's Regional Council Award. What we will have in here is not just the venture fund, but we'll also have each one of the companies at one of these tables or multiple tables working engineers alongside of development, sales, marketing, etc. And there's going to be one environment for everybody to share and work together.
It's very exciting for me as a 20-something, 30-something who wants to live the lifestyle of living in New York City, to be able to work out here, have a short commute. It's very convenient, and to not, get out of the city and work in a fantastic environment. And so, it's a great experience for me, and I think it's a perfect example of how the ThoughtBox is going to enable us to get new, diverse talent that would normally stay in the city to come out to Long Island. And I think it's going to help change our economy, and that's what we're aiming to do.
Cold Spring Harbor Laboratory has been here for 123 years, one of the leading research centers throughout its history in the United States. We are rated #1 in the world in the field of molecular biology and genetics, and we have about 1,200 employees, which has almost doubled in the last decade, the number of employees. And it has a very large economic impact on Long Island. The recent Regional Economic Council grant to Long Island bought, as part of that large grant to Long Island, bought $2 million to Cold Spring Harbor Laboratory for an advanced drug testing facility, for which we went out and raised another $21 million on top of that initial gift. And that is going to lead to we've got approval now to build an extension onto our research facility in Woodbury to create a drug testing facility that will enable us to screen for drugs before they go into the clinic.
Hi, I'm Steve Ballone. I'm Suffolk County Executive. Most of my time over the last 10 years has been spent in Babylon as the town supervisor. And we're here in Wyandanch, and we started a project called Wyandanch Rising that was community-based, a comprehensive revitalization that started with the community and has always been driven by the community. You know, when I came in office as town supervisor, Wyandanch was listed as the most economically distressed community on Long Island. And we set about working together with community leaders to change this community, to help change people's lives. And we're now on the verge of doing something, I think, wonderful and fundamental and transformative. And the reason we were able to get here is because, #1, we started with the community, but #2, because we've had these amazing collaborations. There's no way that you can transform a community in a way that changes people's lives, like we're trying to do here in the Hamlet of Wyandanch, without everyone coming together.
Hi, my name is David Lucas. I'm a community resident of Wyandanch all my life, and I'm glad to see what's happening with our community. We got the new sewer systems being put in, which is going to bring more business to the area, more jobs. We have a new spray park being built right now, which is going to be great for the community, the kids, and everybody else in the community.
When we started farming, we were a little surprised that there was no infrastructure to support farms, vegetable farms. If you go to regions such as California or even Florida, there are cooling facilities which help take the field heat out of the vegetables so that they hold longer and have better appearance, and these types of things didn't exist here. So we had to create our own infrastructure, purchasing our own vacuum cooler, which is a huge investment. There was no refrigeration, so it was a hardship that we didn't know we were heading into. The idea behind the agriculture enterprise facility is that it would be a central location where the farmers could bring their produce, have it properly chilled, and then stored overnight, and a distribution center for wholesalers or other people to pick up.
Behind me is the largest bay scallop spawner sanctuary in the world. As of last year's landings, we've built the stocks back to about 10% of what they were pre-brown tide. Now that 10% is very valuable. It's worth about $3 million to the regional economy. We feel we're one of the major economic drivers in the fall in the East End. We're creating hundreds of jobs, literally, and millions of dollars of benefit to the regional economy in a way that is a heritage industry.
As important as Round 1 projects were to creating jobs, as well as generating enthusiasm and confidence in the Long Island Regional Council, we believe the second round is even more important. Let's take a look.
The Medical Scholars Pipeline Program is a 5-year program designed to recruit high-achieving minority students from economically disadvantaged communities and expose them to careers in healthcare. In addition to reaching that goal, we expose the kids to academic and communicative classes so that they can remain competitive on the college and medical school level and beyond. This year, we were proud to have an 89% retention rate. The Medical Scholars Pipeline Program begins with the student's junior year in high school and continues through the student's junior year in college.
This community is going to have public spaces, a public green, a community building that will be available for use not just for the residents of Wynn Coram Commons, but for the wider community There'll be public space for farmers markets, concerts, and other things of that nature that will bring the community together. And it will provide workforce rental housing for workers. This is a tremendous need on Long Island. We do not have enough rental housing. It's really been something that's been holding back the economic development of our entire region. Young people are leaving Long Island because they don't have an affordable place to live.
Long Island has always been about the future, whether it was creating America's first suburb, or cracking the human genome, or cradling the first astronauts to walk on the moon. Long Island has been a synonym for innovation and invention.
You know, I think what everyone agrees, Long Island really isn't limited by the number of bright kids. There are lots of bright kids on Long Island. They just have to see that they're allowed to really be important when they're young. Which you could say the Google boys were pretty important when pretty young. So your future always depends on having faith in young people. You know, I'm soon will be 85, so I think I'm still at least young in heart. But I know that I'm not going to cure cancer. It's going to be someone who's 35 who just says, I'm going to do it. And you just got to let your society have big objectives.
And now, with a new energy and focus, with new ideas and initiatives, with a new commitment to collaboration across all our communities, we look to the future of infinite possibility. Progress is our promise.